Welcome back to Locked In to Stay In. We back with another one. I guess some important news just happened. I've been waiting for a minute actually to see what happened actually because his money is very long. Diddy. Diddy just got arrested. And I believe his sons got arrested along with him too. I don't know. I know it's a guy on YouTube named Academics. I think he on live right now. He doing it. Shout out to him. I will record him, but I don't really want to record people's lives, but I'm gonna do my own. But I believe his sons and them just got arrested too. But we about to check in on Diddy and see what's going on with him. They locked Diddy up finally. I ain't think he was gonna get caught, to be honest with y'all. I promise you, I ain't think he was gonna get caught because his money's so long. I thought he can always prolong stuff. Just keep on prolonging it. But I see that's coming to an end, buddy.
Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in New York City, NBC News reports, citing a person with knowledge of the investigation. He was arrested in the lobby of a hotel, according to a representative. Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, issued a statement to NBC News saying, "We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Diddy," he said, "is an imperfect person, but is not criminal." To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. Diddy's attorney adds, "These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide," and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. E! News has reached out to the music mogul's attorney as well, but has not heard back. Per NBC News, it was not immediately clear what charges the rapper turned music mogul was arrested for, but it comes amid a wave of lawsuits filed against him, alleging sexual assault and an ongoing federal investigation.
They not letting up on him. Any move that he make, they after him. And the way they arresting him though is crazy. You would think though they would like arrange something for him to come in and get arrested. Like, you feel me? They just busting in on him like, "Let's go, Diddy." That's crazy. But it actually ain't crazy. He put himself in it. He didn't want to be Mr. Take That. Hey.
The federal investigation was made public in March when federal agents executed search warrants at his properties in Los Angeles and Miami. A source familiar with the investigation told NBC News in March, investigators interviewed several people in relation to allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. The warrant to search Combs' properties came from the Southern District of New York, NBC News previously reported. On September 9th, Diddy was ordered by a Michigan judge to pay over $100 million to Derek Lee Cardello Smith, who sued the rapper for allegedly drugging and sexually assaulting him in 1997, according to court records viewed by E! News. Following the judgment, Combs' attorney said in a statement to E! News that Cardello Smith is solely looking to defraud the Bad Boys record founder, and stated in part, Mr. Combs looks forward to having this judgment swiftly dismissed. For more updates on this story, visit eonline.com.
Wow. And he has another lawsuit too. But I think he just got that one not dismissed, but they was wrong. When the guy
were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000.
Look, man, we about to look for another video for real, about this Diddy. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. We gotta see. Slam with $100 million default judgment. And say, that's what I was talking about. See, P. Diddy gets slammed with $100 million default judgment in sex assault lawsuit. See, we're gonna check that out.
Every bit of it.
The inmate was awarded a multi-million-dollar default judgment against Combs to the tune of $100 million. So how does an incarcerated person win that amount of money? Let's go back to the beginning. In previous court filings, Derek Lee Cardello Smith, an inmate at Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility who is serving multiple life sentences, accused the disgraced mogul of drugging and raping him at a party in 1997. Cardello Smith says in 97 he was a bartender at a Detroit area restaurant when he met Diddy and was invited to a gathering at the Holiday Inn where Combs would be partying. He alleges that he participated in group sex with several women and Diddy, but when Diddy showed interest in him, he got up and sat on the couch. According to the complaint, when Cardello Smith went to get a
What I don't understand is how is he sticking his thing inside these men like that? Woo, boy, you was a dog for real.
drink, Combs handed him a drink, thought to be a glass of Jim Beam.
Sick.
But when he sat down in the other room and drank more, he began to get drowsy and started to pass out. Combs allegedly said to him, "I added a little something to it for you." And then Cardello Smith passed out. He claims when he woke up, Combs told him he had penetrated him while he was unconscious. Cardello Smith says he ran into the bathroom and checked himself, noticing he was bleeding and in pain, and left the hotel and never went back. Cardello Smith claims he filed a police report, then he shut down and knew he was never going to be able to tell anyone about what happened. In his complaint, Cardello Smith alleges Combs paid off Detroit and Monroe police officers to keep the police report hidden for many decades. In August of 2020,
To be honest with you, you know what this remind me of? And y'all probably gonna be like, nah. He remind me of what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer. But instead of eating them, none of that crazy stuff. But he raping them. That's what Jeffrey Dahmer was doing. I mean, but he was doing a whole nother ball game with that though. It was a whole nother ball game. But P. Diddy, it's something with him. It's something about that dude.
Cardello Smith made a stunning claim that Diddy came to the Michigan prison in person to offer him
That's
more than
scary, for
$2
real.
million, essentially to keep him quiet and dismiss the lawsuit. On August 7th, while appearing virtually in front of a judge and while representing himself in the matter, the Michigan inmate filed a motion for a temporary restraining order against the disgraced producer.
This is in the matter of Derek Lee Cardello Smith, MDOC number 267009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, also known as Sean P. Diddy, also known as Diddy, Bad Boy Records label owner, founder, also known as Puff P. Daddy, Bad Boy, Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also
He
known
been
as
fighting this case
Sean
for a
Puffy
long
Combs.
time.
And this is file number 24-7362NO. We'll grab your paperwork here real quick out of this other paperwork. We do have Mr. Cardello Smith appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. So I do see that we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs, but for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derek Lee Cardello Smith, requiring a preliminary injunction and or a temporary restraining order. We did set that for hearing today, and luckily the Brooks Correctional Facility was able to make you available. Actually, they had to drive someone up today on another case. So, sir, I have received your motion and a proposed order. Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is based on two actions taken by Mr. Combs himself, directly with me here. We did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room.
I made over 6 figures trading without even looking at the charts, without spending hours glued to the screen, and without relying on someone else to give me an alert, a trading signal, or having to join a Discord
room. There's 2 meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life. that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. And he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million to allow what happened to me to go away. And he stated that he's going to be selling his property, and under the 2005 California Civil Code 2881-2885, the creation of liens, which allows out-of-state justices and orders to cause a stop of any title transfer, property transfers in Los Angeles or any other place that he has property. He stated that he wouldn't be able to proceed with that sale. And he did it the day after I served him the suit. And he also said that he won't be filing an answer to the complaint. He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with default than he would with having a restraining order stopped. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me.
Yeah.
And he pretty much said, yeah. He says, you know how we get down.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, I disagree with how you get down. Your sale shouldn't go through.
So I'm gonna hold on.
I'm sorry.
Cadello Smith. Okay. So you went in a different direction that I thought you were going into. I thought we were just gonna focus. No.
We are.
You kind of went off on a different direction than what your actual.
See, one thing about court, y'all cannot go off. You have to stick to whatever they talking about. Just give them an exact answer. I know I done dealt with a couple lawyers, man. I done been in court a couple times. When they ask you a question, it's just an answer. If you want something in court, you let them know. If your lawyer tell you to be quiet and you think that it's right, you speak up, and your lawyer should be able to tell you if you putting yourself in contempt of court or not. You should be able to ask questions the judge if you're not familiar. You feel me? Sometimes lawyers can be good for you and bad for you at the same time. But let me get back to what I was saying. You gotta basically just give them the answer.
And was.
Yeah.
So what I just want to say is settlement negotiations.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In this case, are probably better not. Yeah, they're not to be placed on the record today. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You're not an attorney. I understand that. So if we can just backtrack and focus just on your motion.
Ma'am. I get what you want.
Okay, thank you.
The motion stems from Combs listing his Los Angeles mansion, the same home raided by the feds in March. According to Cadello Smith, he wanted to prevent the sale of the mansion because it would deprive him of any monetary judgment if the civil matter went to a jury trial.
If he's allowed to sell his property that he has in LA and the properties that are in his name being used and held by other people in Michigan,
big old bed in the back of that house,
then it will cause me harm because I can be tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison through money that I've sent. And if he's allowed to go through with any of the sales, I won't be able to recoup any of my monies or anything from him as a result of any possible judgment in this action, if he's allowed to proceed with it. And an injunction or a restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid his responsibility in these matters here.
He's trying to shut down.
That's what a temporary restraining order would do. It would prevent that from happening. Because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money. And him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me. And I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the restraining order to prevent that. There won't be any harm to him, any of the parties.
What if I told you that instead of setting up a green screen, you can just click a button into script and get the same exact effect? So
there won't be any harm to him in any way. And if it's deemed that it's not justified, then he can go ahead and go through with the sale. at the end of the case. But one has to be put in place to stop this from happening.
The judge then stepped off the bench for a few moments to review Cardello Smith's documents. When she returned, she granted the temporary restraining order.
So, thank you, sir. Is there anything else you wish to add?
First off, just thank you for giving me the hearing and thank you for setting a pretrial on this matter. Thank you, Your Honor. There were some other filings that you should have gotten. I didn't know if that's one of the filings you could have been referring to.
So I received your complaint and all the attachments to it. And then I received this motion. And I just wanted to take a moment to review back through the U.S. District Civil Docket and your complaint. So I did do that. That's all. And,
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a proof of service showing that Mr. Combs was served on July 6th of 2000 and, let me see, is that 24?
Yes, Your Honor.
Looks like it. 2024, return receipt requested was provided. So there is proper service. Mr. Combs has neither appeared nor responded to this request. So I'm going to grant your motion for a preliminary injunction temporary restraining order and order that the defendant and their agents are hereby enjoined temporarily for a period of 90 days from the sale, transfer, or exchange, trade, or transaction of title or deed to the property listed as the address and placed on the market by defendants for the amount of $70 million. And this property and estate belonging to or connected to defendant Sean Combs shall cease and desist any and all trades, transactions, or otherwise stop the process of any further actions on this property being continued. And this shall have an immediate effect. I'm going to date this August 7th of 2024. And I am going to sign this. And we are set for a pretrial date on Monday, September 9th of 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Is there anything else? Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Your Honor. First off, thank you very much, ma'am. The second thing is, under the summons rules and the court rules.
Now look, y'all, I'm gonna end it there, man. I might post another video tomorrow, a little bit to update a little bit more information on this. But what they did was basically they granted him $70 million, but they still got to go to pretrial and they still got to hear from the other, defendant. I believe that's how that works. But the crazy part is that they granted it. They granted the $70 million. Dude talking about $100 million. It's $70 million. But stay locked in. We always locked in to the end. Thanks for the ones that's like, subscribe, and always supported me. I appreciate it. This is probably one of my first videos that I dropped, probably with a high profile celebrity. I probably keep dropping some of these, because some of these guys, man, I don't understand all this money that these dudes got, and they be, boy, I don't even want to say it, but they be messing up. I don't understand. But all right, now, man, I'm gone.